Hello,
Hey, hello.
hello.
How's the audio? Everything is okay?
Yeah, everything's great here. How about
Okay.
you then?
So we can start. When we last spoke in 2023, you said
hmm
that Mia Wallace was still a member of the band, but she only appear at concert whenever she can. So what happened that she's no longer an official member of Nervosa?
Yeah, this was something like we didn't have any like a kind of official like announcement that she's out of the band. It was just like choices and life things that she could back then she couldn't participate in the tours and all the activities of the band. And I guess this was totally and still is like a choice from her, and it's totally her thing and her own personal life. I don't know what she's doing, back home and things, but it's totally like from her side, this thing.
So it comes naturally. It came naturally.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And when Elena joined the band, you were filming your first video promoting Jailbreak, but also Emily is now working with Nervosa as a bassist. So what's the deal with two bass player in the band?
Yeah, indeed, Elena joined in 2023 when we had the jailbreak coming out. But she cannot do all the touring of the band, as it's kind of a lot. We tour kind of a lot, like every year. And so we started having Emily in her place just to participate in the things that Hellfire could not do. But we were feeling like I mean, the new album was coming, and we were thinking like how we should do the things, like how we should do the promo photos, the video clips, and we were feeling that it would be unfair to keep one of them like out of this thing, because Elena is putting super a lot of effort to make the things of the band. Also, Emily is putting a lot of effort, and in the last year, especially, she did way too many shows with us. So it felt fair to have both of them, and it's also more clear to the fans what they will expect and what they're gonna see in the future, like on stage. They're not gonna be on stage at the both time, like both of them at the same time, but they're gonna be exchanging and sharing the touring schedule of the band.
And there were also concerts with Camila and Natalie on bass. So what happened then that they were like during the show?
Yeah, this was totally like a last minute call. It was totally like a session thing. It was like a one time. They're not a member of the band or something like that. It was just the solution of the moment.
And what happened during this moment that they were called? I don't know, Hellfire called sick or something?
Wow, that was kind of long ago. Let me
Yeah,
remember what happened.
2024, if I recall, something like that.
Um, I think we had several dates. I mean, the amount of time that we should stay like in Brazil, because we had some shows before, and also then we had some other activities, and then we had the summer breeze Brazil. So Elena was not able to do the whole thing, so she could only fly to make summer breeze Brazil and come back. So of course we had to, it was much easier to find someone like in there, just do the shows, and that's it. And also same situation was for US. And US, it's always more complicated because of the visas also. Like even if you find a person like from Europe or whatever, still you need this huge process that takes a lot of time also, and takes a lot of risk to take a visa in order to go there. So we had to hire someone from US to make only that tour.
And on the previous album, on the Jailbreak, you were in charge of you were playing bass for the most of the album. And how
Yep.
much did Elena and Emily contribute to Slave Machine?
Also, Slave Machine, they contribute with like ideas here and there, but also the bass was again recorded by me in Slave Machine too, because Slave Machine was super tight also with the deadlines and everything. So we had to make everything very fast and deliver everything. And it was just like because of that, we need to finish everything. And we were already here. The whole team was working. I already knew the songs, recorded my guitar parts. So it was much easier, efficient, and faster to make it this way. Instead of like waiting and calling people, there was no time for that. For this time, I mean.
So they only contribute in terms of songwriting. We won't hear them on the actual album.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and
Mhm.
did when Elena joined King Diamond's band, did it complicate things for Nervosa, or were you understanding? Because after all, who wouldn't want to play with the King?
Oh, of course. Of course, by the time she announced us that she's probably gonna take the gigs with the King Diamond, we were like super supportive and super enthusiastic because come on, King Diamond is King Diamond, and it's also one of her top favorite, if not the top one, favorite artist. So it's a dream. You cannot say like to someone, even if it's a member of your band, like don't do it. Like no way, it's a dream. And and of course we had the solution with Emily, so it was everything was perfect. Everything was perfect, and we were super happy for Elena to see her like doing these like massive shows. And also on the other hand, we were touring like a lot during that summer and having Emily with us, so everything worked for both sides.
And did you have the chance to see King Diamond live with Hellfire on vocals?
Oh, no, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not, because the dates were always like crossing paths, but we were never like at the same playing the same festival at the same day. We never. That would be great.
I managed to saw her with King Diamond at in Poland, and it was interesting because it was a big festival, and I was standing like in the crowd, and next to me was members of Opeth. There was Jamie Justa, there was Bobby Liebling from Pentagram. All the people came to see King Diamond's show.
Of course, everybody would come to
Yeah,
see King
David
Diamond.
Vincent from Morbid
Absolutely.
Angel. It was.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. He's an idol for so many big artists and for so many like generations of artists. So yeah, everybody would like to see that.
And after Jailbreak, there were some changes on drums with Gabriela joining the band. So, what led to these changes? And then Michaela returns.
Yeah, actually, Michaela, it was kind of she never completely left the band because she was in Jailbreak. She composed the whole Jailbreak, the drums, and recorded everything. She was also coming in and filling in for shows when Gabriela couldn't because she had to travel back to Brazil like sometimes. So she was taking the gigs for the with the drums and like for Gabriela because she also have like a lot of stuff back home in Brazil and she's super active with all other activities in there. It was like totally her decision and we support her like 100% to for her choices, do her thing. And it was easy because as I said, like Michaela almost never left and it was like a solution for us because she also composed Slave Machine. She recorded everything, so it was making total sense to also come back 100%.
And Gabriela wrote some lyrics for the new album. So, in which songs we can see her contributions?
Yeah, I think about lyrics, I think it was like a crawl for your pride, if I'm correct. She participated with some ideas and some lyrics over there.
And
Yeah, I think it
mhm.
was that one.
And Prika said in interview that many girls aren't prepared for life as a musician. She said that sometimes their idea for what it's like often clashes with the harsh reality. So, what's the hardest part of this profession?
I mean, it's a thing that never stops, actually. Uh, while what people see sometimes can be like being out on tour and do all this stuff. But in order to be able to do that, there's a ton of job that has to be done before, like has to be done in the back scenes. And it's a thing that never stops, actually, because when you're back home, of course, you will rest, see friends, family, but then you have to go again to even record, even compose, collect ideas, um, come with a lot of have meetings, come with a lot of ideas about the band's future and in general, not only like musically, but in general about the band is a thing that never stops. There's always something to be done. So what most of the people see and expect is like, oh great, I want to be in a big band and go out there, play these big festivals or tour. And also touring is another thing because the band cannot make like 1 2 tours per year. The band has to be out kind of a lot, especially if you have a new album coming. So this is kind of like demanding. For sure, you're making sacrifices, you're missing things back home. So it's not easy. And if you assume all these things together, sometimes it clashes with what people have in mind before they really join a professional band.
And is it also important to have something to come back to after the tour? Like you have, for example, your bar. So every time you came back from the tour, you're working on your very own bar. So how important is this to have something to come back?
I mean, you can. It's totally your choice. It's totally your choice. You can have something, or you can say that I don't want to have something, and I just like to be active all the time. I don't know if it's good or bad. Of course, sometimes it's tiring. Like the whole like the last year for sure. The last year, I couldn't make both because we toured like all over the world, and we also had to finish and give the album on time. So there was no time on doing everything. It was just like Nervosa, resting a bit, visiting parents, and diving back again to the Nervosa world. So if you want to have other activities or other things, it's totally up to you and to your schedule. Sometimes I like to have other things because you also kind of clear your mind and you're taking your whole self out of this thing, and you have the chance to slow down a bit and completely like have a clear mind. But it totally depends. If we are touring a lot and have a schedule like that it's full, then we are 100% there.
Yeah, you were busy last year because it was also 15 anniversary for Nervosa. So you
Yes.
have some first countries that you ever visit, and you have, from what I've read, special concerts with different set list every evening.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was in we did that especially in Japan, in Tokyo. It was crazy. I never did that thing before because we had 5 shows in Tokyo in different venues. So we wanted to present like different thing. and we played, I think, 1 or 2 shows. Kind of, it was long shows. It was like a 1.5 hour for sure. And we play like 2 shows in the way that we always play. And I think the rest we did something like chronologically. Like we started the show playing the oldest song, and in between Nervosa was talking, saying some words about the songs, about the album, about that era, and all the changes and everything. It was really cool. I didn't know what to expect because it was kind of awkward, maybe sometimes, uh, because we were playing and playing another song, and then we had to stop and wait a bit, but it was really, really interesting, and the people liked it a lot because it was something completely different from just a metal show.
And coming back to the new album, to the Slave Machine, how was the songwriting process different from the Jailbreak? Because with Jailbreak, you said that you and Prika composed most of the riffs. So did something changed with the Slave Machine?
No, it was completely the same thing. We composed all the riffs and everything like 50-50. And what changed is like we created this album in kind of in parts, because we started in early 2024. We had some songs already kind of finished, but then we had like kind of busy schedule in 2024 and 25. So every time we were taking the schedule, and we were like putting the composing process of the album like in between the tours. So it was not done at once, everything. It was done in parts. Of course, the recordings was another thing, but I mean, composing the album and the songs was done into parts. And but then again, we were exactly the same team. It was like me, Prika, like bringing everything and the ideas and everything. Michaela composing the drums, and we had our producer again, Martin Furia, that he's been with us like in the last 4 albums. So we had exactly the same team, and that thing was what helped us to make everything that we want and deliver everything on time.
And how did the recording process different from the previous one? Because the previous one was recorded at Artesanal studio in Spain, and you were saying that you were basically living in the studio back then. And how was it with the Persephonic studio?
Yes, like this was really interesting, and we were very happy about that, because we were finally able to create our own studio here in the city that we are living. And this was also another thing that saved us, because we have a safe place for us all the hours of the day, every day, for as long as we want, and to be there, to work, to be creative. We didn't have any time limit, and everything. So we made everything there, and it was kind of another dream coming true, because we always saying like, we wish we could have our own place, so we don't have to rent other places, and we would like to build our own thing in there. So this was pretty much of a dream coming true this last year, and it helped, of course, a lot. We were kind of locked in there, but in our own studio again.
And this is the second album that features Prika as a vocalist. How would you view her journey as a singer? How do you think she evolved from the previous album?
She has a complete, total evolution as a singer, and right now she's completely like 100% like feeling safe and feeling comfortable with the whole vocal and being like the front woman thing. Because in Jailbreak, it was really something very new for her. And we knew that she could do it. And by the time she recorded like the first song, I remember that they were the whole day in there recording, and me and Michaela, we were hanging around the studio, and by night they called us like, we have one song ready, like check it. And I knew that Prika had this like growl and deep vocals, but brutal vocals. But because I listened to her doing the backing vocals, but I didn't know how she would be to have the lead ones and how she would manage the changing in all the techniques, and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, let's see. And I remember the first song that she recorded back then was Endless Ambition. And by the time I listened, I was like totally relieved and totally feeling great, because I said, yes, like we have it. She will be like the one, and she's totally fitting for that. And by that time until now, we have done like 3 years almost of touring. So she's way more experienced about the techniques, about her body, about how to use everything. And she's discovering and studying also new stuff that she's also adding and try to add in the album. So yeah, she has a total evolution in there.
And this time there are no guests on this on the album. So was that a deliberate choice, or did you have someone in mind? But I don't know, logistical issues or lack of their time, or from the beginning you wanted to make an album without the guests.
No, we didn't even thought about that if we want or not. We just arrived to the end of the album, and time-wise, we were like exactly there. We finished just a few days before the deadline, and we had all the vocal lines ready, the lyrics. She had already recorded, like everything. So we said like, let's not do it this time, because it would be a very last minute thing, and if we would do it, we would like to prepare kind of better. But as I said, like also the time limit and everything was like very tight. So we said like, okay, we have everything done, we are totally okay, so we keep that for the next album.
And do you think that media tends to focus more on the guest artist when it comes to singles? Because I remember the situation with Hammerfall with King Diamond when he make like a small cameo, like a choir or something, and all the medias were focusing that King Diamond recorded a song with Hammerfall and then not the opposite.
ah I mean, in a way, like you want someone to participate in order to, of course, see how the combination will be, but also like to give a bit of like attention, like in that specific song. But yeah, well, if you have like King Diamond, of course, like everybody is gonna mention about King Diamond, because it's who he is. Like it cannot get like that. So it kind of, okay, makes sense.
And last year, the song "Smashing Machine" was released as a single. What's the story behind this track?
This track was supposed to be one track of the album, but we always had the feeling that something is off. So it was a song that didn't fit exactly the album. And we were okay with the time and the tracks that we had prepared for the album. We didn't need any more material. So, but we still liked the song, and we were feeling bad to just throw it there or leave it there and not use it. But also, we were not feeling comfortable including it to the album. So we just came up with the idea because it was the 15 years anniversary. We said, okay, let's make a gift to the fans. So it was just a song, a single. We made a video clip, and that was it. It had nothing to do later with the album or something like that. It was just like a gift to the fans for the 15 years.
And the new album Slave Machine will be also released with a version that includes a bonus disc from songs recorded in Sao Paulo. So,
Mhm.
when were they recorded and what was the lineup at this time?
This was recorded in the tour we did in Brazil, in South America, actually, in January of 2025. And I think this was the recording that we did in the first show, yes, in Sao Paulo. And this was like me, Prika, Gabriela, and Emily participating on that one.
And what are your memories of that performance?
Oh, it was like playing in there, it's always great. You know, South America, it's always killer crowd and the vibe and everything. And it was the first show after a while because we had a gap for the Christmas holidays and everything. So I think it was like at least like I don't know how many, maybe 2 months that we were not playing or something like this, 2, 3 months. So it was the first show after all this period. So we were super excited to hit the stage again, and we were excited to start everything from Sao Paulo in an almost like a sold out show. So yeah, it was amazing. Sao Paulo is always one of my favorite places to play.
And you're gonna perform in at Rock in Rio, where you will be appearing as a special guest of the band Black Panther.
And
So,
there,
what have
yeah.
you prepared? How this show will be look like?
This is a surprise. This is kind of very fresh, and we are still discussing on things. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I honestly, I still don't know exactly how things are gonna work and how everything's gonna be. It's kind of fresh, so we are still on the talks about that.
Because it's gonna be this experimental stage, like when Sepultura played with Letambro the Bronx. So it's gonna be like this experimental stage, like the band with some guests.
Exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah. Still, I don't know exactly how we will do everything, but yeah, I think like in the very near future we will have everything figured out.
And you announced on your Facebook that there's gonna be like a documentary about the recording process of the album. So when it will be released, what we're gonna see in it is gonna be like a full length or something more shorter.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a part of the whole the whole recording thing. I mean, it's already some things are online, but mostly they're about the singles that are already out. It's some like us talking some things, our producer showing some stuff about the specific songs. But yeah, after the release, we will be able to have the whole thing and show to the people how everything was done and analyze the things a bit more.
And we're almost at the end of this interview. So as a summarize, how would you compare Slave Machine to Jailbreak in terms of music?
Slave Machine, I think I would say is more brutal, more aggressive, and kind of darker, but not in the extreme way. It's not like the like a darker as extreme metal. It's kind of darker with the vibe and the concept. And musically, I think it's kind of more brutal than Jailbreak. Jailbreak had this kind of rebel vibe, but Slave Machine is a bit more like unstoppable machine going on.
And this is all that I have prepared. So thank you much very for your time. And you can
Thank you.
say something to Polish fans of Nervosa at the end.
Yeah, Poland, just stay tuned, keep an eye open because we have many things coming. The album is coming out on April 3rd, but we have way more announcements to come. So keep an eye open and maybe see you soon.
Okay, so again, thank you for your time. Have a good evening and see you
Thank you
next
so
time.
much. Yes, see you. Bye bye.
Bye.